All right, Cholo Trucker, M.A.S. movies and shows, and here we get the movie I Want to Dance with Somebody. So over the weekend, I was kicking with my beautiful, crazy local wife, and I was like, "Huh, let's watch a movie." And I was just scrolling around, seeing what comes up, and this movie came to mind. And I remember when this movie was coming out, for one reason or another, it just kind of went over my head. I was interested in this movie, but not really sure. I just kind of forgot about it. I don't think it really got a lot of advertisement, to tell you guys the truth, man. I don't hear anybody talking about this movie, and it's about Whitney Houston. I mean, Whitney Houston, come on, man. We're talking about probably the greatest voice of all time. And for one reason or another, I've never heard anybody talk about this movie at all. So I was like, okay, let's go ahead, let's check this movie out, right? So, for one, it's a long movie. It's about 2.5 hours long, somewhere around that range. It is a pretty long movie. Going into it, I wasn't really sure exactly what to expect. I remember a little bit about the trailer. So, look, a little bit of spoiler alerts. This movie took place, or this movie was released in 2022. So, if you guys have not seen it, there's gonna be a little bit of spoilers here. All right. So, you guys go ahead at your own will. Um, this movie starts at in New Jersey when she's not a little girl, but she's young. She's singing in the choir there, the gospel and all. And her mother's a singer. Her mother sings there at the church, but she also sings in little nightclubs and here and there. And it really shows the struggles that Whitney Houston went through with her parents. Mom and dad fighting, not getting along with each other. Both of them do love their daughter. They do love Whitney Houston. At the same time, as it comes out kind of later, the dad's, he gets money hungry and he's really in it for the feria once Whitney Houston starts blowing up. But the mother's really trying to get the best out of Whitney Houston's voice, right? She's there, she's coaching her up. She's saying it's got to come from in here, right? Don't just, you got to tell the story with your voice. I mean, really, really good stuff, man. But at the same time, there's turmoil there in the relationship with all of them, not just with the mom and the dad and the relationship, but Whitney Houston, the relationship that she has with her mom and her dad. Couple of things that can come out in this movie that I had no idea, that just kind of caught me by surprise. One is I had no idea that Whitney Houston was lesbian. That never came to light, man. And I'm not gonna say I was the biggest fan of Whitney Houston, but look, man, make no doubt about it, homie. She has some straight bangers, dog. I mean, some of her music are, I mean, her voice, homie. To me, her voice is impeccable, straight out, man. Probably to me, the best voice I've ever heard. But I never knew. I never knew that she was a lesbian when she was young, and she had this relationship with this one chick that she met before she became the Whitney Houston that we all came to know. She had built up this friendship, which actually she took her with her once she started building her career and becoming Whitney Houston. And look, in all reality, man, this chick stood by Whitney Houston's side all the way through her career, Holmes, which is crazy because throughout that, she actually broke up with her. Again, these spoilers, Holmes. She actually broke up with her to get with Bobby. Well, not to get with him, but she broke up with her, letting her know, like, hey, listen, I love you and all, but I do want kids. I do want a family, and can't do it like this. So, she starts messing around with dudes and all, and the father steps in and he's kind of like, hey, you need to be seen dating guys, right? This is not a good image. You need to be seen dating guys. And it shows how she met Bobby. Um, I know everybody's got their thoughts about Bobby Brown, but you find out a lot of things, man, that I didn't know. For one, I thought Bobby Brown was the one that introduced the drogas to Whitney Houston. Actually, that's not the case, man. Whitney Houston was already dabbling in drogas, homie, before Bobby. Now, once Bobby came into the picture, he didn't help. It's not like he really, helped out, man. He, threw gasoline into the fire, Holmes. So, and I didn't know that. I truly thought that it was Bobby that came and started corrupting her with all the drogas and alcohol. But nah, homie, that was already kind of there, man. So he just came and just threw gasoline all over that little match and turned it into a wildfire, right? So it does definitely show their struggles and their relationship and the breakup and makeup and all this stuff, man. Um, this movie runs real fast. Okay, it's a long movie. It's 2.5 hours long, somewhere around that range. Okay, I don't know exactly approximately how long it is, but it's around there. It's about 2.5 hours long. But man, this movie runs real quick. In my opinion, I thought this should have probably been more of a series, kind of like they did with Selena. Yes, they did the movie Selena with Jennifer Lopez, but then they also did a series, which you guys should definitely go check out. It should have been about a good 3, 4, 5 episode series, because this movie goes quick. Okay, not with the time, but with everything that's happening. It's like she meets Bobby, she's dating Bobby, she's marrying Bobby. Boom, boom, boom. Quick, just like that. Um, it goes really fast. Do not get up and go use the restroom or get something from the kitchen when you're watching this movie without pausing it. Because if you think you're just gonna miss, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds, you're gonna miss a lot of the story. You're gonna come back and say, like, hey, wait a second. Hold on, they were just holding hands. Now they're getting married. What did I miss? You didn't really miss much, except for the fact that this movie just moves it along. It's not waiting for anything. You just got to kind of fill in the gaps with your own mind and say, like, okay, so they must have been doing this for a long time, because now they're here already. First they're here, boom, next thing they're here. They miss these little steps to get up to here. You just got to fill in the gap, with your own mind and saying, like, okay, all this stuff must have happened for them to end up there. So the movie, while it's long, it moves very fast. She's Whitney Houston in New Jersey, small time in it, and immediately, I mean, just boom, 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 homie. It just starts moving, and she becomes the big Whitney Houston that we all come to know, man. Her career is all that and a bag of chips, just like the way it shows in the movie. And her struggles, man, her struggles were real, and her addiction with the drogas, and even her going to rehab, and the big struggle that she had with her old man, even in his deathbed. Again, spoiled her. Even in his deathbed, man, how he was just, hey, I want the Betty. I could tell that he loved his daughter, but man, he really loved that money more. And just all the turmoil, man, all the stuff that money brings, all the problems that money can bring. Okay, that money can bring if you don't, stay on your toes, man. Even family included, man. Money can definitely corrupt and turn everybody against one another, and that's the sad thing about it. It really tests. Okay, it really tests the bonds that you truly have in life. Once you start throwing a lot of money at everybody, or when one person just has all the dough, and it's like, okay, cool, I'm here. Now we're a family unit, or are we? Right now, you guys really got to be paying attention to all that, because that's what this movie really shows. And it's unfortunate, man, because man, we had such a great talent in one Whitney Houston that was taken away, and it shows just how her voice started going away, and she just wasn't what she once was. And even after going rehab, it looked like she was getting clean, but she kind of fell back, and very sad, very unfortunate. um, Again, it's not like I'm the biggest fan of Whitney Houston, but hey, dog, in my opinion, the greatest voice I've ever heard. To me, there are four great, great voices, man, that I'm like, man, above. Whitney Houston is definitely one of them. Mariah Carey, Christina Aguilera, Carrie Underwood. Man, impeccable voices. But as this movie goes, man, 2.5 hours long is worth it. I actually would kind of hope that more people promote this movie because it kind of goes under it flies under the radar for one reason or another. Definitely worth watching. You got 2.5 hours. It's a good movie. It's a good watch. It moves very, very fast. So, you got to stay on top of it. But yeah, I recommend this movie, man. RIP to one of the greatest voices, if not the greatest voice ever, one Whitney Houston. You guys go check it out. I Want to Dance with Somebody, Total Trucker, M.A.S. Movies and Shows. I'll catch you guys on next one.